right? That's the David Spider's rule, correct? I think you made up that rule.
100%.
So how many have? 9 or 10?
We got a minion. With you, me and you were a minion.
Oh, okay.
Well, you're not included in the 8 on that's the number shows.
1, 2, 3. No, I am included. No, so I'm saying.
So is there 9 on there?
There's 9.
Okay,
No, Fully Liners here live.
Yeah, I'm saying now we're good. Now we're good.
Now we got okay. Okay, so we're on the bottom of pay. What's it called? Pay Hayama base. Right, Tshuva mechaperes al aveiros kalas al aseiv al loisasei. Right, so Tshuvas mechaper on aveiros kalas, light aveiros on mitzvahs aseis. Loisasei. So Gemara says hashtal loisasei mechaperes al asei boy. I mean, what's worse, a loisasei or an asei? Right. So it's a lysis is worse. So if you do tshuva on a lysis, of course you could do tshuva on an asay. If anybody remembers, I don't want to bring up bad memories, but the tweet about it's worse for a man to look at a woman than for a woman to go with uncovered hair. Uncovered hair is just an asay, right? For a man to look at a woman is a lysis. So whatever, right? That's sort of what I was getting at, but that's what the Gemara is saying here, that a lysis is worse than an asay. So Rav Yehuda Achikamar al asay, al lysis is shenitik la asay. It's an asay, and a loisa say that's nitik, but for the asay, meaning it's the asay like noiser, right? You leave it over, and then if you leave it over, then you masaket it by doing a mitzvah asay. So Gemara says, "Va'loisa se gomer." What I just lost the place. Hold on, it's va'loisa se gomer loy, and on a true loisa said is no tshuva, right? Because it sounds like the Gemara's teretz now is that there's tshuva on an asay. And a lav hanitik say, but on your garden variety say, it sounds like there's no isra minol. Ask you stira elu hein kalos. What are the mitzvahs that are kalos? Asay v'loisasay. Antomid aleph. Chutz miloisisa. Except for loisisa. Loisisa is using Hashem's name for no reason, right? So, and Rashi says. Yeah, because it says by the lav lo ינקה, which we'll see further. But loisisa lav dafka, Rashi also going to say later, just means that any loisa said, right? So you see what? What? No. So that's already a teretz.
Does it mean not making a shvuah with Hashem's name, or just saying, let's say you make a bracha by mistake or something like that?
No, I don't think. That's no. I think it means that your mamash using Hashem's name for no good reason.
Or you,
right? You know what I mean? It's inadvertent. If you make a bracha, I mean, you're saying because Harold was asking about making a bracha on the lightning. So if you make a bracha shaloi kedin,
yeah.
So then I don't know if I know it's a Machlokes whether that's considered a bracha levatala or not. I don't remember how we come out, but either way, so the Gemara says it's clearly the Gemara is saying that there is a loisisa. So the Gemara says no, it means loisisa v'chol damila. It's loisisa and anything, right? That you get Malkus for, or any loisasa gomer, right? So that meaning it's just an example of it. Yeah.
So all those have no kapara?
All those.
Loisas.
No. What's that? So let's see how the Gemara finishes off. So Tashma, Yehuda Aimer Kolshu Malaisisa Lamata. Anything from Laisisa and Lamata, meaning anything less than a lav, right? With Malkus, Tshuva mechaperes. Tshuva gives kapara. Be Laisisa Lamala, but if it's from loisisa and above, meaning it has malkus, tshuva toila, that tshuva is hanging v'yom Kippur mechaper. Meaning, even if you do tshuva, let's say you did the aveira today, and then you decide to do tshuva today, so then it's going to be hanging until Yom Kippur.
Who ranks these?
No, I think it means it's just another way of saying malkus. Any lav that gives that has malkus. That's basically it. That's what it means. All right. So what again answers loisisa v'chol damila. Right, meaning this was a kasha because you see, right, that Rav Yehuda says that there's enough tshuva for anything loisisa lamata. So we're saying no loisisa v'chol damila. Again, it means loisisa and anything that's similar to it. Fine. So Tashema, if you shenemar b'chayrev teshuva by the chayrev, when they did teshuva by chayrev, yeah, it says v'nakei, and Hashem will clean everybody from the teshuva. Yochal af loisisa, so you would think that loisisa is also, and then it's going to be, you're going to have, as long as you do teshuva, it's going to be forgiven. Talmud lemer lo yinake, it says nake and lo yinake. So lo yinake tells you not. So yochal af shar chayv lavin kain. So you would think all other lavin too, right? Which I think means even ones that don't have Malkus. Talmud lemer es shemai hu deina menaka avu menaka shar chayv lavin. It's only the ones of loisisa. That's where it's not menaka, but it's menaka all other lavin, right? So basically, what we have here, we have different rayas back and forth over whether there is teshuva alone without Yom Kippur for things that have Malkus. So the Gemara finally says Tanoi. At the end of the day, it's a Machlokes. Yeah.
Where does it say Es Shemai? Not in the same passage as V'naki lo yinake.
Well, I don't know if it says the words Es Shemai. It says Loisisa.
If I look at the pasuk, the first pasuk in the Torah, or Lo Sisa Hashem Elokecha L'Shav Lo Yinake Hashem Eis Asher Yisa Es Shemo L'Shav.
Yeah, it's referring to that pasuk. Well, I don't know why it chooses the words Es Shemai. I don't know, but you're right.
No, because the V'naki lo yinake is where we're learning from. V'naki lo yinake has nothing to do with that pasuk.
Right, it says Ki lo yinake Hashem in that pasuk.
That's where it's from.
That's what it seems.
So the first tashma is Vishneva b'chayr teshuva v'nake, and then we're back to the lo yinake of the first pasuk.
That's what it seems, that we have nake and lo yinake, and we're not sure which way to apply, how to apply each one.
Oh, the Torah made a mistake over here.
Why?
So the base by lo yinake.
Oh, okay. Maybe. Anyway, so the maskonas advarim is tanoi. It's a machlokes tanoim. Tanya, alma teshuva mechaperes. What is teshuva mechaper on? Right? Alasei va'aloisa shenitik laasei. It's teshuva's mechaper on an asei and a lav that gets fixed by an asei. V'ama teshuva toila. And what is teshuva hanging v'yom kippur mechaper? Yom kippur is the one that gives the kapara. Al krisus v'misas bezdin v'aloisa se gomer. It's on krisus and misas bezdin and loisa se gomer. Right? So you see beferish in the brisa that there's not enough teshuva. Anything with Malkus is not. It's going to need Yom Kippur. And the previous brisa says it doesn't need Yom Kippur. So basically, it's a machlokes tanoim whether any lav with Malkus. That's a maskana. It's a little bit confusing, the back and forth here. Maybe it's a lot of it confusing, right? But the bottom line is it's a machlokes whether a lav with Malkus needs if it needs Yom Kippur in order to be mechaper, right?
Why do we have a minhag not to name after someone who died young? We say he didn't do teshuva. This says that increases chilul Yom Kippur mechaper.
You're asking, okay, so actually you reminded me now to ask the Tosfos Yeshanim on the end of yesterday's daf asked a fascinating question that's negeya in Yonah Yoma. According to Rebbe, we said yesterday, Rebbe, the most geshmaka shita in the whole Shas, I think, is that Yom Kippur is mechaper even if you don't do teshuva, right? Just be alive on Yom Kippur and you're good to go, according to Rebbe, right? So the Tosfos Yeshanim asks, if that's the case, so why was the Beis HaMikdash destroyed? According to Rebbe, it's a geshmaka kasha, right? The teretz is not so geshmak for us, though. It's better should I leave the teretz because it's better, right? Again, the Tosfos Yeshanim says, if according to Rebbe, the Yom Kippur is mechaper automatic, so then why was that was a churban? So he answers, no. It means you have to do epis. You got to do some teshuva. He's saying really Yom Kippur is mechaper, but if you want a legitimate, full-fledged teshuva, you have to do some sort of teshuva. It's still good. It's still Rebbe Shita is still good, but it's not. He takes a little bit of the luster. What?
Yeah. What about a chosin? Does he have to do teshuva, or that getting married? That's it.
You opened up a Pandora's box right there. I'm not even I'll let the Olam answer that one. Right? They're going to say, yeah, you know what the Olam's going to say. But
He doesn't need to do teshuva.
correct. But,
No, it should. It's
No, I
like Yom
think
Kippur or what? What's the
right? And
the story
I
of
think
that?
it's the same. I think it's the same thing.
Well,
No,
according to Rabbi, they're just getting married. That's it.
Yeah.
Esav
Yeah.
married Mochlas, Mochel Alavoinus. You didn't see Esav going putting on the gartel.
correct. Yeah.
If marriage itself didn't bring you to teshuva, you're on Zivik Shlishi over here. This is not,
Yeah. But anyway, okay, so let's see right. Yeah, so now Omar Mar. Now we start with a lot of Agadata on Tshuva. So Omar Mar, Lefishanem b'Chorev and Nake. So by Chorev is when they did Tshuva on what do you call it? On the Egel. So Minolon. So how do you know? That that's talking about Tshuva? The Tanya Rav Elazar Omer Iav Shalomer Nake. You can't just say that Nake is, or every chet is always going to be clean, right? Nake, the translation means clean. Shekvar Nemar Lo Yenake, because it says Nake and Lo Yenake. By the way, the Ilim is not, doesn't chap. It's in the Yud Gimel Midas. It's a Nake and Lo Yenake, right? So it means some of them he cleans and some of them he doesn't. So we have to figure out which ones which ones no. And you can't say that the Chatayim are not going to be clean. Shekvar Nemar Nake. So okay, it said Menakahu l'shavin, ve'ena menaka l'sheina shavin. Hashem will clean the Chatayim for those that do tshuva, and it's not going to clean for those that don't do tshuva. Fine. So Shora Masi ben Chorosh. As Rabbi Elazar ben Azari b'Raimi, Shamata, did you hear Arba Chalukei Kapara Shahaya Rabbi Shmuel Darish? Did you hear 4 different kaparas that Rabbi Shmuel darshan? Amar Shloishahen, he said there's 3, Utshuva im kol echad ve'echad, and you need to do tshuva. You don't just get kapara, you don't just get forgiveness, you need to do tshuva too. Over alasei v'shav ein ezaz misham at shemoich l'loy. If you over on an asay and you do tshuva, you don't move from there until there's mechila shenemer shuvu banim shayvavim. Return the children who are troublemakers. Over alaysa seva asa tshuva. Wherever on alaysa you do tshuva taila v'yom Kippur mechaper. The tshuva is waiting, and then Yom Kippur will wipe it clean. Right? On that day, you're going to get a kapara with your aveiros. Overall, krisis and Mrs. Bezdin, basa tshuva, then tshuva v'yom Kippurim toilin v'yisum memarkin. Then somebody's chayiv kares and Mrs. Bezdin, then he gets tshuva, but it's not going to be wiped clean until he has pain. Shanemar v'kaddi b'shevet pisham. So it says, I'm going to remember you with a shevet, with a stick, right? They're aveiros, and the negoyim is avoinam. Their aveiros are going to have negoyim. Negoyim really means tsaras, but it means it's going to be punishments that come along with it, right? Avo mishi yesh chilul Hashem b'yadoi. But if somebody did a chilul Hashem, ein lo koyach b'tshuva. Litlois, he doesn't get teshuva is not even going to be talui, and Yom Kippur is not going to be mechaper. The lo yisurin, the marek, and the pain is not going to wipe it away. Alakulan toilin umisa mimarekas. They're all hanging, and Misa is going to clean it. Shenemar v'nigla v'aznei Hashem tzvakoisim yichupar ha'oin azel lachem atamuson. So it says that it's going to be revealed in the ears of Hashem that if the aveira is going to have kapara, then it's got till this dead, which I never really understood because everybody dies, right? I mean, ultimately we want the tshuva for the next world. So what's the big deal, right? So you do your tshuva, and we say, okay, Hashem says, okay, you got the kapara, you just have to die first. Okay, it's a shine, so that's no problem, right? And the next world is coming after you die, right? No, I never understood this.
The same, yeah.
What?
The same way. We're saying the same thing.
Yeah, Naphtali has the same kasha, so I'm a good company, right? So yeah.
Unless it counts against different, points over here. If I guess a life with Yisurim, not without. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you will have less Yisurim if the tshuva will be accepted. You have less Yisurim. Maybe. Yeah. Fine. So Hechida Michil Hashem. what's a case of a chilul Hashem? So Rav could go in. No, Rav said like me. You should kill the bisra mitivcha. If I would take meat from a butcher, and I would not pay him right away, that's a chilul Hashem, because you're supposed to pay right away. Right? I'm sorry. In a town where they won't come collect it from you. But in a town where the butcher will come, he'll send you IOU notes and whatever. He'll send a collection agency after you. That it's no problem, because it's expected that you don't have to pay right away. I mean, if it's on credit, it's credit. Yeah. Amar Avino. Matamachsi was a place that they did give on credit, and they came after you. Abaya, so Abaya, when he bought meat from partners, he would pay each partner, and then he would bring them to each other, and then he would make a cheshbon. I mean, he wanted to make sure, right, that each one got paid. So he'd give each one the money, then they would get together, and then they would pay him the amount. They would give him the amount of meat that he needed.
A buyer would bring them together.
That's what it says.
Look how busy you are when you go. You have time when you go shopping to do things like that.
And I don't have to go shopping. You do the shopping.
I understand, but I'm saying I can't. A buyer is probably also answering that.
Yeah, but if he felt the halacha was this way, so this is what he's got to do.
Right, you got to do what you got to do.
This was his thing that he was makbid on.
Yeah, right, 100%. That's what it is.
I guess they didn't have.
You got to do what you got to do. Rav Yochanan said, "Going ano like me, the masigna arba amas beloy Torah beloy tefillin. If I would go 4 amas without Torah, without tefillin, that would be a chilul Hashem." Right. So basically, Rashi says, not everybody would know that he was weak, right? And then it would think, oh, look at Rabbi Yochanan, he's wasting his time from learning, so therefore, he's also. Everybody else is also. Right, which is like everybody loves seeing pictures of Gedolim on vacation, right? Because then they say, see, the Gadol went on vacation, so I could also go to the Bahamas, even though the Gadol didn't exactly do that. But that's what, I guess that's what he's saying. That's what he says. I can't ever be seen without filling on and without learning. Otherwise, the other's going to learn from me. What are you saying?
Where does the and go in that sentence when he says without Torah and without sword? I mean, one or the other is okay, or either?
I thought both, but how's anybody supposed to know he's thinking and learning? This part I didn't understand. Maybe he's thinking and learning.
I don't know, right? Someone like Yochanan, you can tell when he's thinking and learning.
If he has his tefillin on, he can't have hesach hadas. So obviously, he's thinking and learning and good things.
Right. So you're saying it's both. I'm saying it's either.
L'chayra, that's how. Yeah, if you want to know, how's the guy think? How do you know if he's thinking and learning? He's not wearing tefillin. He could be thinking about the ball game. So he says, no, he has tefillin. You can't have hesach hadas without that they wouldn't be choshid that he has a hesach hadas when he's wearing his tefillin.
Right. Yeah. He could have just said to go in no, the masgina arba amas beloy tefillin.
I hear. I'm not sure what it means. Yeah. Okay. Let's see weiter. Yitzchak the Beir of Yanai Omar. He said, "Kol shechaveirav mispaishin machmas shmuasei." If his friends are going to be embarrassed because of what the reputation that it has, like Rashi says from the Shem Ra, then that's a chil hainu chil Hashem. That's a chil Hashem. Right. So. I mean, I don't know what has to do with the friends. What does it do with the friends? If a guy has a bad reputation, so it's a chilul Hashem. Yeah? Okay, so I'm going to Ka'amri Inchi, right? So people say, Shara le more leplanya. He should forgive this person, right? Meaning, they sort of say like, oh, yeah, I hope he gets forgiven. Yeah, because this guy is such a troublemaker that the guy never... right? He should be forgiven. Abaya Omar, Abaya says, Kedatanya, we learned that Abaya, so after Hashem Elokecha, Shem Shemayim misahev al yodcha. Shem Shemayim should become loved through you. You should learn, and you should learn Mishnayos. Read the Torah, learn Mishnayos. And you should, your business with the Bria should be benachas, easy, meaning no fighting. What are people going to say about that person, right? This is said in the Musar Svarim a lot. Ashrei Aviv Shalom the Torah, praises the father who taught him Torah. Ashrei Rabbi Shalom the Torah, praises the Rebbe who taught him Torah. Oilam Lebria Shalom the Torah. Woe is to the people that don't learn Torah. Pliny Shalom the Torah, Ru Kama Noam Dracham. This person who learned Torah, look how nice he is. Kama Masukana Maisa, of how Allah and how much his Maisim are fixed, meaning he knows what he's doing. And Allah Kasavaimer, Vayomerli Abdi Ati Yisrael Asher B'cha Espar. You are my Eved, my slave, that through you I'm going to have pair, I'm going to be glorified. So that's if somebody does good. But let's say somebody who learns Mishnayos, he learns Psukim, Mishnayos, but does not do business properly, and he doesn't speak nicely. Woe is to the guy who learns Torah. Look at this guy who learns and how bad he is. Right? And how dirty are his ways. It says that this is the people from Hashem, but they left. They went out of his land, meaning they're not keeping what Hashem says. That's a chilul Hashem. Right? Now we start with a bunch of my marim about how great tshuva is. Yes.
I'm sorry. Is Abaya saying that someone who doesn't do all of these things, that's when it reaches chilul Hashem, or any of them, or what? It's a huge chiddush.
Why is it a huge chiddush?
It takes a long way to get to chilul Hashem. It has to be ein masori matani b'emunah, ein diburim v'nachas v'briyos.
Yeah, you got to be a good man. Yeah, you have to be on your toes.
Yeah, but someone who's not. It's not just someone who's good is the positive. He doesn't say someone who just doesn't have the positive. Someone says, oh, he's okay. That's not a chilul Hashem. It has to be someone who's the dafka not. He does shady business. And in order to make a chilul Hashem, someone's business dealings have to all be shady. And he can't talk to anyone nicely. That's how far you have to go to make a chilul Hashem.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. What should I tell you? It's tough business.
Wow.
That's what it seems like.
Great. There aren't many people like that.
I don't know. Is that true?
I would say so.
Okay.
There are people that do the occasional shady deal. That's not ein mastoya matana.
Right.
It's just a lack of having it good. It's not ein mastoya.
I hear. All right. I don't know. Yeah, it's a tall order. Might be better not to learn, Taka. Like this, nobody thinks that. Okay. If somebody does tshuva, he's going to bring healing to the world. He's going to heal people from their doing tshuva, and he's going to love them as a present, meaning he's just going to love them. He has a stira. It says, but we had this passage before. Children that are troublemakers should do tshuva. They may which sounds like they were troublemakers. But it says, I'm going to heal you from your troubles, meaning from your not behaving yourself. Right? Which is mashma that even after they get tshuva, they're still considered troublemakers. Right? Meaning one sounds like once you do the tshuva, it's over with. The second one sounds like you're still considered a troublemaker even though you did tshuva. So when it says like kasha kanme, I have a kanme yira, right? Major yisoidus in ilchus tshuva. That there's two different levels of tshuva. One when you do it from love, and then one when you do it from fear. Meaning, right, when you're the little kids, right? So sometimes they want to do the right thing, and sometimes they're only doing the right thing because because they're going to get beat or whatever it is. So one is I don't know, beat. Okay, they're not going to get prizes. So one is considered more legit than the other. If you do a me'ahava, then it's considered as if you totally improved. Rabbi Yehuda, Ramiksiv Shuvu Banim Shoivavim, Erba Mishuva Seichem, right? Same pasuk. Uksiv Anoichi Ba'aloisi Michem, Ba'alti Michem Elokati Yasam Echad Me'iru Shnayim Mishpacha. He says, I'm going to take one from the city and two from the family. Yeah, so it sounds like, are we children or are we slaves? Right? The first pasuk sounds like we're children. Second pasuk sounds like we're slaves. So we say Lakasha kan mehava oy miyira. Right? One is mehava. So see, the Argamara says oy. Rashi says u. Right? So if you do tshuva from ahava and yira, is the way Rashi has it. The Argamara says ahava or yira, then that's better. Kan al yidei yisurim. But if somebody only does tshuva because they're having problems, and what does everybody do when they have problems? They say they're going to improve. That's not the same level. That's considered like avodah. Okay, Amar Rav Levi. G'day l'tshuva shemagas at kisei hakavod. Right, tshuva reaches to the kisei hakavod. Shenemer shuvu yisrael ad Hashem elekecha. You should do tshuva until Hashem elekecha. So you see, it goes all the way up to kisei hakavod. Amar Rabbi Yochanan.
What was the Havamina here? Where should tshuva go? It's not to Hashem.
No, but it reaches all the way to Hashem.
Well, that's who we heard.
As opposed to the way I understand it, as opposed to shluchim. Meaning Hashem takes care of it himself. That's what I think. Yeah. This is an interesting one. A tshuva pushes off a license and the Torah. Shenemar lemar, because it says lemar hein yishalach ishes ishtoi. So a man sends out his wife, meaning he divorces his wife, and she goes from him, and she goes to another man. Am I going to take her back? Right? What isn't that going to make chatoim in the land? But you still have been a zayna, right? And you have with a lot of people, and now you want to do tshuva, right? So what does that sound like? From the pasuk sounds like, because there's a halacha that's called machzik rushase. Anytime a man divorces a wife and she goes and marries somebody else, she is no longer allowed to get married to her original husband, right? Or if she's mezana, meaning if a woman is ever together with another man, she can never go back to the original. But here, Hashem is saying that even though Klal Yisrael made like they were mezana because they went to other gods or they did other things, still Hashem takes them back. So, you're over on an Isser because the Klal Yisrael was mezana. Still, Hashem says that since you do tshuva, we will negate a loisas and the Torah, which is very fascinating because the whole thing is really a metaphor. But okay. Amar Rav Yonasan. Kedai l'tshuva shemekareves is geula. Doing tshuva makes the geula come faster. Shenemar uval tzion gael u'l'shavei pesha b'Yaakov. That could be tonight's song, parrots. Meanwhile, right? Yeah, u'l'shavei pesha b'Yaakov. There's gonna be tzion gael, a redeemer, and the Yaakov is gonna do tshuva. Ma tam uval tzion gael mishum d'shavei pesha b'Yaakov. The reason why there's going to be a geula is because they're doing tshuva. Amar Shlakish, Kedai l'tshuva, shes the dainos nasais like hishkagos, because the mazids become like shaygigs, right? Shenemar shuvu yisrael ad Hashem lekecha ki kashalta b'aveinecha, because you tripped up in your aveiros. Havain mazid hu v'kakari le'michshal. It's the aveira that we're talking about here is done on purpose, and we call it that you stumbled, right? That's a michshal. So memela, that's how we know that if you do tshuva, your mazid gets knocked down to shoygig. Aini, it's not true, right? And this is the more popular Gemara. Tshuva is so great that your aveiros actually become mitzvahs. Right? And if the Rasha does tshuva, right, and then it's going to be tzedakah aleim. So what do you mean? Before we just said that the mazids get turned into shaygigs. Here it says they turn into mitzvahs. The kasha kamehava kameyira, same teretz as before. When you do the tshuva me'ahava, so your aveiros become mitzvahs. And here it's talking about where you do it from fear, right? So then, of course, like somebody once asked me, so I know I'm going to do tshuva on Yom Kippur, so I should do more aveiros. Meaning, I know I do aveiros, but I should do more aveiros like this. The more aveiros to do, the more mitzvahs they're going to turn into when I do tshuva. No, you don't like that.
You said you can't do an aveira to do tshuva later.
What?
We said yesterday.
No, but I'm saying, but if a guy is already, that's doing it on purpose. Here, the guy, meaning the guy, bottom line comes out that a guy who did more aveiros is better off than a guy who did less aveiros, according to this. I'm not saying, right? The Mishnah says you shouldn't do it on purpose, but okay, the Olam's not buying this. Okay, listen.
Yeah, it depends what the types of tshuva me'ava and tshuva me'ira. What's the difference?
What I mean, tshuva me'ava is because you feel bad that you disappointed Hashem.
100%. The guy that did much worse things, and he comes back and does tshuva, he's in better shape than a guy that didn't do what's it called. His tshuva was much harder. He came much lower. He went much higher.
Oh,
The guy that went much lower,
that's a
does real
different
tshuva, he gets much higher. Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Do tshuva again. To do tshuva for these major things is no small joke. Didn't somebody go into fetal position and die? Was there been a story or something like that?
what do you say, doctor?
Wasn't there a story in the Gemara that Fritz was looking after for
In
Zona?
Avodah Gemara in Avodah
Yeah.
Zarah, yeah.
Story, I forget the name. So I mean, that
What,
wasn't
that
the
he-
easiest tshuva. It killed him.
I mean, because he did, yeah, that's, so what are you saying? That's a kash on this?
So I'm saying if somebody wants to collect more sins to get really momentum for prizes, that guy's, I mean, he's just really setting himself up for a big failure when he comes to Shemayim because they're going to say, I'm sorry, you're an idiot at best. And you didn't do the kind of tshuva you have to do tshuva for that. Even that thinking is
He's not saying do aveiros in order to do tshuva. We said yesterday you can't do that. He's just saying that
Just saying that somebody who did
somebody
more.
who happened to have done more aveiros and then does a real tshuva is in better shape than someone that did less aveiros and did a real tshuva.
That's not what I understood what the rabbi is saying.
No, I'm saying I started off you're right. I started off the question sort of like, once you're doing aveiros, go do it all the way. That's what I was, but it's really fakir from the Mishnah. But I was saying, what really my point is that there could be more chizik to somebody who really thinks that he can't do tshuva, because if you do it legit, right?
It's a little bit problematic because someone who has Avos Hashem also has Yiras Hashem. Someone who just has Yiras Hashem, just has the Sur Mirah, so he can mess up more. That's true. Someone who has the Asay Toiv also, not likely that he'll do more Chatoim. But it is likely
Right.
that he'll turn it Chatoim into mitzvah.
I hear. Okay, I don't know.
Reb Gershon, that's a different share for a different night.
I don't know what night that shir. I don't know what night that
What's
shir is
Tshuva
for.
Me'ira? Tshuva Me'ira and Tshuva Me'ava doesn't mean that he's a Rosh Marusha and all of a sudden he says, I love Hashem. That's Tshuva. No, I mean somebody who has Yiras Hashem and someone who has Avos Hashem.
Right, I hear. But I don't know why. Yeah, okay, whatever it is. It's just an interesting thing that it becomes that it's so easy. Your aveiros become mitzvahs, right? It's a wild thing, right? It's a wild thing. Okay. Anyways, Amar of Shmuel bar Nachmani, Amar of Yonasim, Gedayla Tshuva, Shemareches Shnoisav Shel Adam. It lengthens your days of life. Shenemar Ubeshuv Rasham Mirishasai and Chayu, and then he's going to live. All right, so maybe that's the answer. Taka thinking now to Amud Aleph that the guy with the creases, his tshuva doesn't go until he dies. So that means he won't get this arichas yomim because his tshuva is not. And the chil Hashem, I meant the one who does chil Hashem. Okay, Amar Yitzchak Ami b'Marav Shmei the Rabba Parmari Borei Shaloi Kemidas Kadosh Baruch Hu Midas Basar V'Dam. Right, the famous lines in Gemara. Hashem is not like humans. Midas Basar V'Dam. Somebody who makes fun of his friend or whatever it is, causes him pain. It's a suffix whether when you ask the guy for tshuva, the friend, whether he's going to accept it. And if you think that he is going to be satisfied, maybe he's not going to, words are not going to do it. You're going to have to give him presents or whatever it is. If somebody does an aveira hiddenly, you can do it with words. Here we go, another nigga. Teshuva el Hashem. Yeah. Right? It's considered that that he did a good thing. It's and take good. Not only that, but if you do tshuva, it's not just lip service. It's as if you makriv parim that our lips are going to pay back parim. So, which is the source agav for us saying karbonos, because even though unfortunately we don't have the Beis Hamikdash, but when you say it, so our lips are doing the karbonos. So Shema Taima Parei Chayva. So you say maybe it's only Parei Chayva, right? Meaning those that you're required to do. If you like instead of a chatas, whatever time. Erpa Mishuva Sam Ayavim Nedava, you're going to be healed from wandering. Those that he's going to love us at a dava, like the pasuk we said before. Fine. Tanya, you remember I'm a gedayla tshuva shebeshvil yachid shasa tshuva meichel l'chol and kulay. It's possible that one person does tshuva, everybody's going to get mechila in the whole world. Shenemar erpa mishuva sam ayavim nedava. Yeah, kishav api mimenu. So mehem loy nemar ela mimenu. It doesn't say from them that they all did tshuva. It says from him. So one guy does tshuva, everybody could get a kapara. So maybe we should get one guy to keep Yom Kippur. The rest of us can go to the beach, right? I don't think that's going to fly either.
Wait, so while you're up there davening, no one will be behind you.
Correct. I've had people tell me, like, I'm just relying on you. I'm just chilling back here, and you're just gonna. I was like, I'm not so sure that's such a smart idea. But anyways, yeah. So heichidami bal tshuva. What's a bal tshuva? Right, so Amr Rav Yehuda, Kagan Shabbos liyadei dvar aveira pam rishayna v'shniya v'nitzal imenu. The same aveira he did, if it comes to him once or twice, right, and he's not over, yeah, then he's good to go. That shows that he's already healed, right, and he was saved from it. Now, so there's a big girsa issue whether it says pam rishayna v'shniya, because why do you need to have it twice? It should really, some say it's just only once, not twice. Right? Machmi Rabbi Yehuda showed Ba'isa Isha, it has to be with the same woman, Ba'isa Perik at the same time, Ba'isa Makam in the same place. Right? Meaning it has to be the exact scenario for him to that, and he doesn't give in to the temptation, then that's okay. Then we know that he did tshuva. But if it's just the same lady passed by, then that's not enough. Yeah.
Could it be Yehuda and Bava Kama holds like Shmuel? Chazak is for the Kama Muad is 2 times, not 3 times.
Oh, you want to say it? I hear.
It has to be muchzik.
I hear. Maybe that's a good one. That's a good word. I like it. Fine. Amar Rabbi Yehuda, Rav Rami Ksiv. Rav asked the stira. Ashri Nesu Fesha Kisi Chata. Praised is the person who has his chet is hidden and his aveira is carried. Uksiv mechaseh peshav lo yatzliach. Somebody who hides his aveiros is not going to be matzliach. So should a person hide his aveiros or not? Meaning, should he publicize it when he's doing tshuva? Should he say to Hashem what it is that he's doing wrong? Or should he just say, I need to do tshuva? So like kasha habechet mefursam habechet she'ein mefursam. One is someone with a chet where everybody knew about it, and one is a chet where they didn't know about it. Right? So if nobody knew he did a chet, so don't go running around telling everybody he did a chet. Right? But if everybody knows about it, then you should do the tshuva, publicly. Right? So the aveiros between ben adam l'makom you keep hidden. The ones that are between adam l'chaveiros, so you have to reveal it. Otherwise, how are they going to know? Right? How are they going to know? Okay, there's a lot of tumult on this. Tanya, Rabbi Yosef Yehuda, Adam aveiros aveira pam rishayna meichel loy. If he does an aveira once, mechila. Shniya, Michael Loi. Shlishis, Michael Loi. Revius, and Michael Loi. If he does it 4 times, no more mechila. Shenemar, Koyamar Hashem, Ashleisha Pisha Yisrael, Val Arba Lo Yashivenu. On the 3 aveiros of Yisrael, and on 4, I'm not answering. Benemar, Hein Kol Eila Yifal El Pamayim Shalish Im Gover. Hashem does these things 2 or 3 times with people. What do you need 2 psukim for? Maybe it's only if the tzibur does it 4 times. But a yachid, they wouldn't apply. So that's a gever is a lashon yachid. Yeah. So fine. Aveiros. This is a very interesting machlokes. Aveiros that you do vidui on this Yom Kippur, lo yisvad aleim Yom Kippur macha. Then don't do tshuva for it the next Yom Kippur. Meaning once you did tshuva on one Yom Kippur, don't do another Yom Kippur. Shana behen. But if you did it again, then you need to do it. If you did aveiros again, which inevitably happens, unfortunately, then you have to do it again. The tshuva. Then lo shana behen. And if you didn't repeat aveiros v'chazav yisvad aleim, and you did vidui again.
What does that mean? It doesn't happen.
No, I'm saying it does. I'm saying it does happen. Meaning,
right,
unfortunately,
it happens all the time.
Right, exactly. We do tshuva, and then you know what I mean, and then a minute later we do it. So then navada, you repeat the tshuva. But if you didn't do it, if you taka healed yourself, the chazer is vada and then you went and did vidui, all of akasav oimer kekelev shav al kiyah ksil shayna bivalte. Like a dog that goes back to its throw up. We had this pasuk once before, and a ksil goes back and does the same thing wrong twice, right? That's what everybody tells their kids. You did it once, okay, twice, right? Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov, he disagrees. Kol shekain shu meshubach. It's a kol shekain. If you do tshuva for this Yom Kippur on a previous Yom Kippur, it's a kol shekain that's better. Shenemar ki pashaya ani eida v'chatasi negdi samad. For he says, I know what I did. And my chet is constantly next to me, so that's a good thing. So what do you do with the pasuk that says that repeating the tshuva, even though you already were forgiven, is like a dog that goes back on its vomit? Since a person does an aveira and then he does it a second time, it almost becomes mutter to him. Yeah, that means it's mutter to him. It's as if it's to him, it's as if it's mutter to him because he's so used to it. Yeah. Fine. Okay, let's go a few more lines. It's tzarich lifrat es a chet, and you have to say which chet it is. Shenemar ono chata amazeh chata gedoil v'yasalem alekei zav. Right, he made a big chet, and they made out of themselves. They made a lekei zav. Divrei Yehuda ben Bava. No, you don't have to say it. Better to keep it hidden. Okay, so then what does it mean that when Moshe said that they made a god made out of gold? So clearly Moshe did specify what aveira they did. How can you say that you're not supposed to specify the aveira? And this is wild what Moshe told Hashem. I think Rashi brings this, right? All the kesef and the zav that you gave to Klai when they left Mitzrayim, until they said it's enough, they have enough. That's what caused them to make a lekei zav. Right? So Moshe wasn't saying the vidui of what they did wrong, right? He's saying you gave them too much. You get right. That's when a kid makes trouble. You know, he makes a fire. You gave the kid matches. What do you want him to do? Of course, he's going to make a fire, right? So that's sort of what Moshe was. That's sort of what Moshe was saying. Okay, we'll stop over here, and tomorrow night, regular time, Mustama. I appreciate everybody tuning in early. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Shkoyach.
Okay.
You heading to Brooklyn and then you're going back to
I
Maine?
think I'm going to Brooklyn. I'll see.
And then you're going back to Maine? Wow. I'm exhausted just thinking about it.
Yeah, when I first landed here at 2:30. But I appreciate the shopping. All right, peace out.
Yaakov,
Yeah.
you have 3 minutes?
No, I got to run, man. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done the shit early.
Yeah, I don't know how early you. I don't know. Yeah, okay.
If you call me late at night, maybe when I'm driving, maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah, okay,
Alright.
fine. It was on the Daf, but yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Shkoyach. Okay.
Alright.
Sag is good. Bye-bye.
Okay.